Ladies and gentlemen, Connolly!
The Bears are here tonight. You should get an agent, pal. Why sit in the dark handling yourself? Yeah, talking to you's like washing a hanky. Here's a wee song. Now use your energies to sing instead of shouting like I need you. I said sing. But clap if you want, but you'll not hear the words. 3 men for Carntyne went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne went to join the parish. 3 young gentlemen from the east end of Glasgow went to sign social security. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine for sing went to join the parish again. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine and a big black greyhound dog called Bob went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine and a big black greyhound dog called Bob went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine and a big black greyhound dog called Bob for up our close along our street went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine and a big black greyhound dog called Bob for up our close along our went the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine and a big black greyhound dog called Bob for up our close along our street and a lassie called Sanger that works in the dairy. She's been scaly ever since a Malanda boy hit her in the head with a breadboard went to join the parish. 3 men for Carntyne and a bottle of wine and 5 Woodbine and a big black greyhound dog called Bob for up our close along our street and a lassie called Sanger that works in the dairy. She's been scaly ever since a Malanda boy hit her in the head with a breadboard went to join the parish. And it was shot. Yes! Oh, we're home again. Oh, it's great playing Glasgow theatres. Especially this one, it's really beautiful, isn't it, when you look at it? It's like singing inside a wedding cake, isn't it? Yeah. Aye. When boil your head, you mug you. This is a serious song. That's a serious out-of-tune situation. Take the rollers from your hair. Shake them loose and let them fall. Put them down by your glass eye. in that chanty by the wall. Every time you go for a pee, you get the feeling somebody's staring at you. Though your teeth are black and gone, and your breath smells out of sight, I'll put a glazed peg on my nose to help me make it through the night. Now, I'd like to dedicate... But I can't. No, I'd like to dedicate the next song to my Uncle Freddie, who was awful lucky. He was a very lucky chap, as it were. Awful lucky. He was always winning things. Until he went to the First World War. He didn't do too well. But as he was leaving to go to the war, he was bidding farewell to his mother. He said, "Well, cheerio, mammy." And his mother said, "Well, cheerio, son." They were people of very few words. He said, "Cheerio, right enough, mammy." She said, "You're right there, son." And he said, "Hold on a wee minute. I nearly forgot." And she went into a drawer and brought out a wee package. And she said, "Son, it has come to my notice that some of the lads who are going to fight in the foreign fields are not returning. As a matter of fact, vast amounts are copping their whack daily. I would like for you to take this wee pressie. It is your father's watch." And she gave him his father's watch, which he put in the top pocket of his waistcoat, which he always wore under his army shirt, because it was made of jaggy material and gave him plooks. So he took the watch and put it in the pocket above his heart. He said, "Well, cheerio, man." And away he went to the war. And they were all fighting one day in France. The British and the Germans were tearing lumps off each other and shooting away. They'd been playing football a couple of days before, but this day they were shooting. You know, they were playing a game called Cop Your Whack. And several whacks were being copped, I can assure you. And there was this sniper, a German sniper, up a tree. And he saw my Uncle Freddie getting a third light for his cigarette. And he says to his mate, "Oh, France, here's a cracker here." He says, "Oh, you go on, Hans, have a go at him." And the bullet went, "Zsh, thump." Hit him right in the chest, and it would have gone right through his heart, but it didn't. It hit his father's watch, skited off, shot up his left nostril and blew the top of his head off. I would also too as well like to dedicate this to my friend Tam, good old Tam, who guided me through my formative years, my plucky youth, who showed me what it was all about, how you chat women and how to behave at parties, and he told me about antisocial diseases, diseases of the Welly. And I went, oh no! Really? Well, I'm not doing it. Oh, I'm not doing it. Oh, wait a minute. What? Go to the doctor with that? Oh, you're not on. He knows my father, your doctor. He took me up to Black Street. The clinic. To show me guys going in there. We watched them all with their duffel coats with the hoods up. Reading papers. A paper with a hole cut in it, walking up the street. Written in the back of his coat, honest, I'm a joiner and I'm working here. And he took me to parties, show me how to behave. We were drinking and chatting women and that, and I had to watch him. But he was a pretty fast worker. He always sort of went up and got a young lady for himself, and then the lights would go out, and I'd be left in my Todd, sitting there. And they put on these Connie Francis and Patsy Cline records. And it was pitch black, and me sitting there. And then they'd start, you'd hear the noises. So I felt right out of things. So I just joined in myself. Somebody put the light on to see what I was doing. Eventually I got myself a woman. I think I fell over on the way to the toilet. But it worked out okay. All that kissing, do you remember that? 3 hours. My lips were frayed at the edges. My nose was numb. My face was soaking wet. I felt as if I'd been to the dentist. Terrible. And she bit me. She bit my neck. Oh, terrible. I mean, what was I going to say when I got home? Because I fell. You don't understand, Father. I fell down this stair and I landed on top of this pair of false teeth that somebody had thrown away. And from there, I'd like to talk about Partick. Which is my own wee place, and I love it dearly. No, I don't. I moved away from it. You're an awful liar, Connolly, when you start. You don't love it. You're a tough. So, that's why I moved away, because I loved it. But it's about people, and it's really, I suppose, about Govan, as you say. Because I went to school in Govan, and there was a guy in my class called Constantine. And I used to feel terrible sorry for him. If you live in Kelvinside, or Hampstead, or St John's Wood, you can get away with being called Constantine, or Gascoigne. No, in Govan. You are not on. And so this poor guy had to go through school. And other wee hard cases would come up and say, hey, Jimmy, what's your name and that? It's a pretty stupid question, really. Hey, Jimmy, what's your name? But they say, yeah, what's your name and I know. He said, hey, Constantine. I go, told you, didn't I? Now his wee mates are on hysterics, rolling about on the floor, slapping their thighs. So he spent his entire school life walking about going, why me? Why me? I wish it was called Shuggy. And I got the idea for this thing I'm going to do from a fella who told me he was walking through Partick, a scruffy bit of Partick. Now that takes a bit of believing. And I don't know, a scruffy, he must have been an explorer, the chap. I mean, I was a red sandstone boy. We used to take the ashes to the Midden in a briefcase. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness, yes. Oh, aye. We used to put good things in the Midden just to show we were well off. You know? Oh, aye. And we called it the Midding. Mummy, are you in the kitchen? I'm just nipping down to the Midding. Oh, none of your rubbish. But he said he was walking past this wee condemned row of buildings. And one of the doors was open. A house. You know what those doors open right onto the street? You can see right into the house. It's just your luck if you're sitting in the lavvy with the door open. Go away, you! Counting the blackheads in your thighs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Join the dots and make a picture, win a major prize. So, this door was open. You see, and it was all squatters that were living in the street. You know, they just commandeered the place. And you know what they're like? They're like Apaches. Once they live there, it's their place. Who are you doing in my street, you? I'll kill you. I'll mollocate you. So, but this wee kid ran out a doorway, a wee Wayne, about 3 years of age, wearing just a wee vest, a wee simmet, bare bum, black knees, black feet, hands and face covered in jam, a crust of bread in a hand, and a sticky up haircut. Offski, the big bid for freedom, running along the street. His wee Welly going. The wee pointed Welly. Oh. So he's off. And his mother comes out looking for him. Oh, a real stoter. The headscarf, the lumpy headscarf with the rollers. The wee doubt of a cigarette in the fingers. Nicotine up with the elbow. She's got a doubt halfway down her throat. The wrap-round overall, the peenie. Nylons rolled down to the ankles. Her husband's slippers on. The corned beef legs were sitting too near the fire. She comes out on the pavement. She says, there's two wee boys playing in the street. She says, haven't you seen the Wayne in that? The wee boys say, hi, Misty, said he has to lang bear. She says, so it is. Tyrone, come back here. And I'd like to dedicate, this is a Talkin Blues about two strangers who meet and discover they've got sort of strange names. And so they decide to get together and go home and assassinate their parents for doing it to them. And I'd like to dedicate it to everybody with strange names. All those wee Elvis McDonalds. You know, Engelbert Mackenzie. Yehudi McEwen. Omar McGuinness. There's bound to be some of them about the place. I'm telling you people, I got problems in my mind, something that's been bugging me for quite some time. As I wander through the world just looking for fame, the question keeps cropping up, what's my name? Like Elvis, Engelbert, Bamber Gascoigne. I used to think that was a disease. Say, oh, he's down with a bamba. Oh no! He's got it right in the Gascoigne. Oh no! I love all that stuff. It's your Tam, he's in bed with his stomach. See, I bloody hope so. So we can go to bed and send his stomach out for a pint. Please excuse Jimmy for being absent from school, as he had diarrhea through a hole in his balaclava. Talk about a guide to more picturesque speech. Did you ever wear a balaclava? Oh, I used to wear one to school. A jaggy one my auntie knitted me. Had ears like tomatoes. And a scarf outside my coat, crossed over and pinned behind me. I was like a penguin with wellies on. I knew a young couple once, their name was McCann, gave birth to a baby, a fine young man. Then they went to get him christened in the church in the lane. The priest nearly fainted when he heard the baby's name. He said, what? In Latin. They said, Genghis. He said, oh, come on. They said, no, Genghis. Now life's pretty hard as an ordinary man. It must get really hellish as Genghis McCann. Just wandering through the world looking for a friend. Luckily he found one in the end. He was a nutcase from Aberdeen called Napoleon Bonaccord Smith. Well, the two got to talking about trouble and strife and how they'd been laughed at all of their lives. Then, like Napoleon and Genghis did in days of yore, they rode home on horseback and evened up the score with rifles, bayonets, screw tops and swear words. So if you get yourself a baby and you're looking for a name, remember what I told you, because you might end up the same. You might get yourself in trouble, it's plain to see. Every word's true, you can count on me. William J. Connolly III. The J's for Josephine. And if you think I'm queer, just ask yourself, who paid to get in, you or me? Good evening. And welcome to Late Call. Scotland's answer to the epilogue. My name is Canon O'Fodder, and I'd like to talk to you about life. As I see it, as it were, so to speak, to coin a phrase. And life, to me, is like an ashtray, full of little doubts. But then again, when one gets to think about it, it isn't like an ashtray at all, so to speak, as it were. Sometimes as we travel along in these troubled times and in the hurly-burly, life is like a tin of sardines. We're all jammed in together, and nobody can find the key. And no matter how hard you try, there's always a wee bit stuck in the corner that you can't get out. So life, to me, as it were, is a constant struggle trying to find a wee bit, as it were. Don't get me wrong. Which brings me to the next part of the sermon, although it has nothing at all to do with it. The other night, as I was strolling, casually, through one of the more picturesque parts of our beautiful city, Blythwood Square, to be precise, I was approached by a young lady who asked me if I would like a short time. Well, I was so taken aback and shocked by this young lady's concern for my lifespan that I could only mumble a few words about how I expected to have quite a long time, barring accidents, of course. She said, well, that's not what I mean. I said, oh, of course, 9:10. She said, no, you've got me wrong. I'm in business for myself. I said, that's very clever for a girl of your age. And how's business? She said, it couldn't be better. As a matter of fact, if I had another pair of legs, I'd open in Edinburgh. Which I must say confused me more than a little, I might add. And that brings me to the end of this week's sermon, entitled, How Does One Get to Heaven When Inflation's Running Wild All Round Us? Or if the big un reappeared, could we afford them in late call? Thanks. Thanks a lot. You know, it's a strange old thing, your religion. I mean, look at Ireland, Ulster. There's a wee story. There's a Jew walking through Ulster, which is pretty strange in itself. Most people run through it, but but he's walking. Walk. As you're through a Catholic area, and two big heavies come up, 6 feet between the eyes. Hello. Dare you? Head you. Hey, you a Protestant? He says, no. He says, oh, well, that's fair enough, on your way. They're very good. They were Glasgow blokes, you know the accent. So he's walking through a Protestant area. Two guys come, yeah, me. Me, you a minute down there. I'll mollocate you. She said, hey, you're a Catholic. K-A-F-F-L-I-K. You're Catholic. He says, no. That's all right, well, go, shoo. Beat it, blow, gone, out. This is my street, I'll give you a right baiting. So he's off. 4 steps he took, and an Arab jumped out of close and stabbed him. The Irish bloke, a helicopter landed in his garden. By the time the police got there, he was throwing bread to it. Choo, 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 come on. Choo, choo, here, come on, don't be feared. I'd like to dedicate this wee poem to the makers of Iron Brew, Mr. and Mrs. Barr, and their wee wains, for saving my life on so many Sunday mornings. Oh, aye. Hanging out the bed like a gorilla with a bonnet on. Fumbling about. And it's called the afternoon after the morning after the night before. This morning, when I woke, nah. I thought I was going to choke, nah. I wanted ginger, coke, nah, no. So I turns round to her, nah. Says, my tongue's all fur, nah. My voice was just a blur, nah, no. She says, you must think I'm dumb, nah. Out all night with these scum, nah. Your breath's like a badger's bum, nah, no. So I jumped right out my kip, nah. Had to bite my lip, nah. My head was giving me jip, nah, no. So I jumps into my clays, nah. The world was just a haze, nah. Spinning about in a daze, nah, no. Into the tallies down the street, nah. Keys a bottle of Iron Brew, neat, nah. It went down just a treat, nah, no. So I meets my China, Tam, nah. He's off his head, a bam, nah. He says, fancy a dram, nah, no. So we has a few, well, a lot, nah. See me, I'm a drunken sot, nah. I'm a loony that's never been caught, nah, no. So this advice I'll give to you, nah. If you're working at getting food and that, you'd be better off from the brew, nah, no. Thanks. I'm going to play a wee tune here because I'm fed up battering my banjo. Because it's quite a good banjo. And I'm always walloping it with a plectrum. I'd like to play the first tune I ever learned. because it's the only one I know right through, really. I had 2 lessons from a guy, and I went back for the 3rd one, and he'd run away with somebody else's wife. And when I went to the door, his wife smacked me in the mouth. She says, "You must have known something about it." What do you mean? What would I say? So I only learned the one tune. Here it is. It's called Cripple Creek. It says a lot about my mind. A chair for this because it's got no sling on the guitar, and George brings me a chair every night. George, my faithful roadie. He's got a beat. Does your mammy know you're out? Really? Dearie me, what a bear. Look, somebody up sitting next to him put the nut in him, would you? Here's a favour, I'll wait out and polish that bolt in your neck. George is my faithful roadie. He's got a beard and he's baldy. His head's upside down. Don't tell him. He gets hurt awful easy. He'd need daddy. His mammy knitted him. His ears like a spaniel. She ran out of wool and just used 2 socks. Well, this is a wee song I wrote a while ago after seeing a documentary on television. Most of you probably saw it. It was about Ulster and the children in Ulster being in a terrible state with the war being on, and the soldiers in Ulster being in a terrible state but trying to cope with the kids and fight a war that's, they don't know what it's all about. And after I saw it, I was about a fortnight later, I was walking along Sucky Hall Street now, and I came to the army information place, and I was looking in the window, you know, where all the young guys join the army, and there was all these pictures of computers and discotheques and things, and soldiers enjoying themselves, you know, but there was no dead bodies in the window. And I thought, oh, aye. So this is a wee song I wrote after seeing these things. I'm lying in bed, I'm in room 26, and I'm thinking of things that I've done, like drinking with squaddies and bulling my boots and counting the medals I've won. These hospital wards are all drab-looking joints, but the ceiling's as much as I see. It could do with a wee touch of paper or paint, but then again, maybe that's me. Oh, Sergeant, is this the adventure you meant when I put my name down on the line? Oh, your talk of computers and sunshine and skis, oh, I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? I've a brother in Partick with long curly hair. When I joined up, he said I was daft. He said shooting strangers just wasn't his game. That brother of mine isn't soft. But I can put up with most things I've done in my time. I can even put up with the pain. But what do you do with a gun in your hand when you're facing 100 odd wains? Oh, Sergeant, is this the adventure you meant when I put my name down on the line? Oh, your talk of computers and sunshine and skis, oh, I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? Da 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 dee da dee dum dee da dee da 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 dum da dee dum dee da dee da dum da dum da dee dum dee da dee da dee dee dum dee dee da. Oh, Sergeant, is this the adventure you meant when I put my name down on the line? Oh, your talk of computers and sunshine and skis, oh, I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? I am asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? I'd like now to sing a song about Scottish Highland national dress, Wellington Boots. You think it was a kilt? Edinburgh's the only place you see kilts, really. Chookters wear wellies. And the welly is a great, great form of clothing. That used to be the great mark of poverty in Partick, wellies in the summer. Found out, poor. And when you're lying on the beach in Spain trying to kid on you're a millionaire, with your 4 bob cigar and 7 bob bottle of champagne, you're found out to be working class because you've got welly marks on your legs. 2 rings of no confidence. I'll sing the chorus first and you can join the innie. If it wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? You'd be in a hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your wellies. Oh, wellies, they're wonderful. Oh, wellies, they're swell, 'cause they keep out the water and they keep in the smell. And when you're sitting in a room, you can always tell when some bugger takes off his wellies. If it wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? You'd be in a hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your wellies. Or when you're out walking in the country with a bird and you're strolling over fields just like a farmer's herd, and somebody shouts keep off the grass and you think how absurd, And squelch you find why farmers all wear wellies. If it wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? You'd be in a hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your wellies. There's fishermen and firemen, there's farmers and all, men out digging ditches and working in the snow. This country it would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers and their wellies. If it wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? You'd be in a hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your wellies. New Edward, Heath and Wilson, they haven't made a hit. They're ruining this country more than just a bit. If they keep on the way they're going, we'll all be in it. So you better get your feet in your wellies. If it wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? Sing, you'd be in a hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your wellies.